in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's. If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Learn more at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
If Nick Saban watched this tape back yesterday, he would kick some of the kids off the team. That's how bad it was. And Alabama's problem is their controllables. You watch this defense run to the football and you're like, where is the effort to the ball? The angles to the ball, the tackling to the ball. It's not a talent issue. It's a controllables issue. And I think it is fair to say, can Kalen DeBoer survive September? When you watch this tape, they look like a shell of what Nick Saban had built them to become when it comes to effort and toughness and desire. They look like a shell of it.
It's the Adam Gold Show. What's going on, everybody? I am Adam Gold. Victoria's on the ones and twos.
It's Hope Day.
It is already. We just got here.
I know.
Seems like we just started the week.
I had to double check just to make sure.
Oh, I have a notebook for the show every day. I type out most stuff, but I write down things that I want to talk about, blah, blah, blah. And yesterday, I wrote down Monday, September 2nd.
Yep, nope.
Today, I wrote down Tuesday, September 3rd.
Off to a great start.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I realize that days have, there's a name, there's a title for each day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I get it. But in terms of how it feels, try to tell me yesterday didn't feel like a Monday.
Definitely felt like a
right?
Monday.
As often I have mentioned, in these scenarios, when you have a 4-day week, Tuesday gets skipped. There's no Tuesday feel. We're already at Wednesday.
Yes.
But yesterday, which was Tuesday, was really Monday.
And then we have our NFL Game 1 of regular season tomorrow.
I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to hear everybody talk about Dallas not having Micah Parsons.
Exactly.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm here for. We're still here for Carolina, not hot takes anymore, because the hot takes ended yesterday. But people are still talking about the Tar Heels, which in some ways sort of like the Cowboys. Right? Jerry just likes to be in the news. Whether it's good or bad, it's all publicity is good publicity.
Even though I think Bill's the opposite, but his girlfriend is not.
Jordan.
Yeah. That one.
Fine. I got whatever. She's all good. The Belichick doesn't. But 24 hours after a blowout loss, still talking about the Tar Heels. What's wrong? Is it irreparable?
What happened?
Do they have look? We talked about it yesterday, and we're going to get into it today as well. Chip Patterson will join us because yesterday I referenced whatever word I just tried to say. Yesterday, I referenced conversations that we had with Chip going back to not even just the summer, but going back to May about the overall talent of the roster. And I'm sure we could find it if we went through every Chip Patterson conversation. But Chip said he thought they would be less talented this year than last year. And I think at first look, I think that's an accurate statement. My feeling all along has been, I don't know if they're going to be good. I think they'll ultimately have a good record, and I will pump the brakes on doubling down on that until we see what they look like against Charlotte on Saturday. The team that I watched against TCU Monday night was not good at all, and on top of that, I thought played very poorly. We'll find out whether or not, as Bill Belichick said after the game, we're much better than we showed, because he said that, yes, Monday night in the postgame, we're much better than we showed. All right. Let's find out on Saturday, and that's not going to give us a great idea because we think Charlotte's bad.
Yeah.
So, and then the following week is Richmond, and the next game is at Central Florida. We may not know until the end of the month whether or not, and this is, I am in no way throwing shade. We might not know until the end of the month if Carolina is good. I do think, in terms of or good enough. Good is doing a lot of work there. Good enough. But we could find out Saturday if they're bad. Mm-hmm. Just flat out bad. You know, Kirk Herbstreit was caught on a hot mic coming back from a commercial saying, "Oh boy, they're bad." Right. Whatever. He didn't say anything bad other than truth.
Yeah. Can't blame him.
No,
everybody thought it.
They looked bad.
He just said it out loud.
And I put this out on Twitter during the game in this form. Carolina better hope that TCU is like legitimately good. Like could win the Big 12 level good. Because if they're just another team in the Big 12, and I actually think they're good, but if they're just another team in the Big 12, then the utter dominance on your home field that they displayed, that is a bad sign. Mm-hmm. But we can't determine, all right, one game, forget it, flush it, move on. We can't even entertain those thoughts until we see them play Saturday against Charlotte. And again, Charlotte's bad. All right, with all that said, we got a lot of stuff to get to. So, let's roll.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
We're actually going to talk with the organization coming up in less than 10 minutes. But the Canes have a new away fit.
Yes, and it's not the floating eyeball.
The floating eyeball?
Yeah, the one that was on Twitter and everybody was like, no.
Right, yeah, okay. The diagonal Canes, it's the white uniform. The diagonal Canes front is gone. Mm-hmm. Some people liked it. I actually did. I actually thought that was a better look when they did that reverse jersey, when they did it in red. I thought it was hot in red. But I kind of dug the white Canes diagonal. Was it
it's like a seatbelt.
Upper left to lower right?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Now, so diagonal Canes is out. Bolder, more black Storm logo is in. That's the switch. There is a wide red block around the like the biceps part of the sleeves, the upper arm of the sleeves. There's on the left side, the left shoulder, there is a the NC flag in all red. That logo is on just below the shoulder. The strutting Stormy on the other side, on the right side.
Yeah.
I dig the strutting Stormy.
Oh, me too.
I dig it. I want to see that on more items.
Me too. I want to get one of the shirts with him on there. He's awesome.
So for my purposes, more bold, clear numbers on the back. Like, no joke, sometimes it's hard to tell 6 from 8 from 9.
Yeah.
It just is because of the
Especially
rounded, more narrow numbers, right? Mm-hmm. So, and those of us with failing eyesight. But these should be much more clear to identify. I'm not going to editorialize the uniform yet. I will say this. If you look at social media, hasn't been well received. Just leave it at that. Has not been well received. I tweeted out pictures of the whole picture with Andrei Svechnikov modeling the uniform, and I tweeted out just a photo of the strutting Stormy, which, again, I dig. If you want to go to my timeline at A Gold Fan and see the original tweet and then see the comments, up to you. Normally, people are all in on new stuff.
Normally.
You be the judge. All right. In a broader sense, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Canes, and then we've got football. And again, the Canes are going to join us. Matt Sutor, Vice President Marketing, will join us in about 5 minutes. If it were me, if I were making the decisions, we would have a new uniform every year. Every year we would have a new uniform. So they do this in European football.
Yeah.
They do at least a subtle change, really not so subtle, to home and away uniforms every year.
Yeah.
They add a different third jersey kit every year.
Gives them more opportunity to make money.
Yes! Revenue.
Yeah.
Revenue. The Hurricanes played in 5 uniforms during the year they played the outdoor game, right? By the way, this logo, the front crest logo, is, if not identical, very similar to the one that was on that black jersey, right? A little bit more of a bold look at the logo. Anyway, but I would do this every year. The argument that, well, then people are going to be expected to buy. Nobody's expected to buy anything. But you certainly give them the opportunity to buy. Here.
Yeah.
I'll go this far. I wouldn't be against 41 different home uniforms and 41 different away uniforms. And let people decide what they want.
Yeah, because if you don't like this one, wait for the next one.
The Golden State Warriors have like 10 different uniforms they wear every year. Nobody bitches about it. You want to buy one or you want to buy the whole set? Have at it. I mean, it's expensive, but if you have the money, if you want to spend that money, go ahead. Knock yourself out. All right, we'll get to more of that in just a few minutes. The Hurricanes have 2 new players, both here on professional tryouts for training camp. A defenseman, Oliver Shillington, mostly played with Calgary. Last year, split the season between Colorado and Anaheim, I believe. He's a left-shot defenseman. He had 1 good full season in the NHL about 4 years ago. 30-some-odd points. Has had injury issues. Good skater when healthy. And Giovanni Smith, who is a forward, also played with Colorado last year and I believe San Jose. My opinion that Shillington, if he's right, is definitely an NHL player. Definitely. I don't know about Smith. I think he's probably more of an AHL player. And Shillington might end up being an AHL player because A, he's never healthy, and he's only had 1 productive season even when he was healthy. These guys are basically training camp players. They're just going to help you fill out your roster and for the preseason game so you meet the requirements. You have to have a certain number of players who have played X amount of NHL games. But it's also a favor to them, maybe, to see if they can hook on somewhere else. Again, there was a time where Oliver Shillington was a good player. All right, the ACC and the top 20. We've already had the preseason rankings no longer matter. We are into the season. Miami goes from, I think, 8-5 in one, 10-7 in the other. Here's the AP. Miami 5th, Clemson 8th, Florida State 14th, SMU 17th, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Duke, Virginia, Pitt also receiving votes. Coaches poll, Miami up to 7th, Clemson 8th, SMU 17th, Florida State 19th, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Duke also receiving votes. All right. The Panthers are into week 1 game week. They will be at Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, a team that is in some ways, a very similar position to Carolina on 2 fronts. One, they have a quarterback who still hasn't really proven himself in Trevor Lawrence. They play in a division which might be available to them to win without necessarily having a great record. Jacksonville, however, has the single best or most fascinating new player in the entire league.
Who's also on my fantasy league.
Travis Hunter.
Yep.
My son Jack also has Travis Hunter.
Fingers crossed for both of us.
Absolutely. So Hunter is listed first on the depth chart at wide receiver, second at cornerback. He is not listed as a starter at cornerback, which, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Dave Canales and the challenge of being the first to deal with Travis Hunter.
A special player for sure, but it goes beyond that. I think it's anytime you play a team where you have new coordinators coming into play, familiarity with Liam, with what he did in Tampa, but then this is a totally different group. They're kind of built differently with their skill players on offense and some of their tight ends. I'm sure they're going to use them in different ways than what we've seen. We might see some similarities, and same thing goes for the defensive side. You got a new defensive coordinator. He's been a couple of places, and it's you take the preseason and you got to think, okay, well, if he's calling plays really for the first time in a while, like some of the rhythms of how he's going to call it may show up in the preseason, but we have to assume they're not showing everything, just like we showed most of our stuff, not everything. So those things present their unique challenges, because while it's still going to come down to our execution, you like to have your 60 or 70% or better tendencies, whether it's offense or defense, and we really don't know what those things are. So we're going to have to be taking a lot of notes, early on in the game to kind of see what the game plan is and just make sure that what we're doing, attacks that or fits that.
That's Dave Canales, the head coach of your Carolina Panthers. More Panther conversation coming up in just a couple of minutes. Doug Glanville, by the way, former big leaguer, will join us at the bottom of the hour. We got, 3 weeks of baseball left, right? 3 weeks of regular season baseball left?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah?
I'm excited.
Cubs going to catch the Brewers?
Yep.
Find out what Doug
I
thinks.
hope so.
Find out what Doug thinks about the Milwaukee Brewers a little bit later on. All right, today, the Carolina Hurricanes, at a 10 o'clock kind of news release, unveiled the brand new away jerseys. Gone is the diagonal canes from upper left to lower right. In is a bolder version of the Storm logo. Matt Sutor, Vice President Marketing of the Carolina Hurricanes, joins us on the Adam Gold Show. I just want to ask this first question, Matt. How long has this been in the works? Who is the designer of this jersey?
Yeah, so we developed these about a year out. The NHL has pretty strict timelines on, when these need to be developed, when they need to be submitted, final artwork, and all that fun stuff. So we knew that we were going to unveil this for this season last summer. And the way the design process works is it depends jersey by jersey, honestly. We've done stuff internally. Sometimes we partner, now with Fanatics, in the past Adidas, before that Reebok. But, now that we're partners with Fanatics, they have a design team that they offer thoughts. So this one was done pretty much in-house, though. I think when we looked at this and the ability to do a new jersey, we knew what story we wanted to tell. We knew what path we wanted to go down. So this was an internal project. Fanatics did what they needed to do on the production side, but that was that. So we've been sitting on this design, for a year. We've got prototypes in the fall. So it's one of those things like, you could walk into someone's office, it's hanging on the back of the door, and that prototype's been hiding in plain sight for like 7, 8, 9 months.
All right, so you still didn't give me like a name. Is this a Matt Sutor design? Is this a Tom Dundon design? Is this a Doug Worf design? Did Andrei Svechnikov come into the office and design it? Is there a specific person who kind of took the reins and really developed this logo?
There's really not, and that's I'll tell you that it's not Svetch. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But the way that we operate, it's really pretty collaborative. The standard process is our design team, which consists of 4 people, will take a first crack at it. We sort of see, okay, what are we trying to accomplish here, and they come up with 5, 10 options, and that ranges from a lot of different paths, right? You're going to go with a white base, and that's pretty much where you start. And then you start playing with that center crest, which in this case obviously ended up being the Stadium Series logo.
Yeah.
And so I think that, and then that's submitted from the design team to a couple more executives, and then that gets to Doug Wharf, that gets all the way up to Tom, and we all work together to figure out what this is going to look like. So it's not one person having one design, another person having another design, and another person submitting a third, and then saying, okay, we're going to go with option 2. There's a lot of tinkering, a lot of version 1s, version 5s, version 7s, where we're playing with shoulder patches, we're playing with striping, we're playing with socks, we're playing with helmets, to really figure out what this final set's going to look like.
Matt Sutor, Vice President Marketing, Carolina Hurricanes, is joining us on the Adam Gold Show. Here's the thing. I mean, if you took the Stadium Series jersey and you simply substituted white wherever there's black, it kind of looks like that jersey to me, with maybe a couple of subtle changes. Is that was that the thrust behind it?
Pretty much. I mean, when we used that two-tone logo for the Stadium Series, that black and red primary logo, that was really well received, right? Fans really liked it, and so we started bleeding that out, not just on Stadium Series gear, but you started seeing it a little bit more commonly around Carolina Pro Shop, right? And that stuff was well received on merchandise. And so I think when we look at the progression of our brand and the progression of our uniforms, and I think Victoria called it the seatbelt.
Right.
In terms of the diagonal front.
I dug the diagonal canes. I did too. So.
Well, I think, you looked at it, but, that was more commonly associated with the Rangers, who have had the same uniform for 100 years.
Penguins also had a version of that.
The Penguins, exactly. And then even Tampa Bay had a Bolts version.
Yep. Colorado has had one as well.
Exactly. And I think that we introduced that, but now it was time, okay, well, how are we going to modernize our brand, modernize our uniform set, just based on the fact that diagonal was a little bit, more of a throwback style when you compare it to how it had been used on jerseys before. And so we had this two-tone Stadium Series logo that was really well received, and we said, well, let's tinker with this, right? Let's see what this would look like on a white set. Let's see what the arms would look like. Let's see what the piping would look like. What do the pants look like? And talking about, how we developed the jersey concept designs, that's just sort of kept coming to the forefront. And so we settled pretty early that we wanted to use that mark on the front. So developing, that front crest was one of the easier parts to this jersey, I'd say, because we knew it was modern. To your point, it's bold, it's clean, it's a little bit different, obviously, than what we've traditionally had. And then from there, it was just building out from the rest of the jersey, right? What color are the letters and numbers going to be? What ends up on the shoulders? What do the arms look like? And that's sort of the development of that design process.
Matt Sutor, Vice President Marketing, Carolina Hurricanes, is joining us here in the Adam Gold Show. As somebody who at times will mix up numbers, I appreciate the bolder numbers, the bigger numbers on the backs of jerseys. And honestly, I have a lot of questions, and we don't have a ton of time left, but I think that ultimately will help people like me. It's like, hey, was that William Carrier, or was that Sean Walker? Although I can tell the difference between the two players, sometimes the numbers kind of blend together for me. You mentioned shoulder patches. The strutting Stormy, which a lot of people look at and say, oh, look, State's got a strutting wolf. I mean, I can see the similarity. I would also draw the similarity to the more menacing Ram at UNC. So it's not necessarily a state thing. It's a collegiate thing. I dig that logo, that mark. Was there any consideration given to making that the away crest?
There was, but again, not much, because again, we knew from the jump that the Stadium Series mark was where we wanted to go.
Okay.
To your point, though, we knew we had this strut and stormy mark, and we said, well, where does this fit? Right? We knew that this was a dynamic thing. We knew it's something we wanted to play with. And, you know, it's been funny to see the feedback from fans, because I've seen there are fans that say, like, the shoulders are the best part about this uniform, and there's people who are saying the strut and stormy is the worst part about the uniform.
Have you been on my timeline?
I have. I saw the exact comments. And it's funny, right? Because we did an audit. We actually did an audit of every NHL team's shoulder patches. And what we saw was there's not a lot of creativity. There's not a lot of, you know, unique marks there. And we always position ourselves like we're not your traditional hockey team.
Right.
Like, just because the Boston Bruins do something doesn't mean we're going to do it. In fact, it means we're probably going to do closer to the opposite of whatever Boston does. And so, you know, that was not really ever in the running seriously for the front chest, but we knew we wanted to incorporate it somehow, and the shoulder just made the most sense.
Look, I dig it. I mean, I'm sure I haven't been over to the Carolina Pro Shop yet. I'll get there when we start coming over there for training camp and whatnot. But I am sure that there will be ample, items to buy with the strutting Stormy on it. Whether it's just a hat with the strutting Stormy would kill, a T-shirt, one of those 47 brand T-shirts with the strutting. Those things will absolutely fly off shelves. So, all right, we'll leave it there. I would stay off my timeline if I were you, because I'm staying away from it. But good luck with everything. Look, people are going to love it. People are going to like it. People resist anything new. But I know it went a lot went into it. And let me just ask you one very quick thing as we exit. Why don't we do something like this every year? Change the black next year, then change the red again. Why don't we do this every year?
So there's actually a rule, NHL rule, you got to commit to jerseys for 3 years.
Okay. So you got 3 uniforms every third year.
Maybe you're onto something there.
Serious. I had a conversation with Tom Dundon 2 years ago, just explaining about, like, the Golden State Warriors have like 10 different uniforms. He goes, why? I'm like, because they sell them. That's the answer. That's my question. Right.
Yeah, I think there's, and to your point about, you know, European football and you know, college sports, there's a reason that all these things come out frequently. It's teams, brands, et cetera. They're always just trying new things, see what sticks. You know, and again, we're not Boston, we're not New York, we're not Toronto. We're going to operate differently. And ideally, our fans can understand why and can appreciate the fact that we don't operate like everybody else.
Yeah, we're better than those other cities, Matt. Matt Sutor, Carolina Hurricanes Marketing Vice President. Sir, I will see you soon. Thank you for the time.
Adam, thank you.
You got it. Matt Sutor here on the Adam Gold Show. When we come back, Doug Glanville, big leaguer. For Cubs fans out there, and I know there's a few, including one right on the other side of the glass, are the Brewers the best team in the league? Next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary, home of the original no closing cost mortgage. And a lot of people think, well, the no closing cost mortgage allows you to save money. Obviously it does. Not paying closing costs allows you to save thousands. But what it really gives you is freedom, peace of mind. We all think about money. How can we save it? How can we not waste it? If you pay closing costs, you are likely wasting money, because when the rates drop, you can simply refinance free of charge, lower your monthly payment, but that only benefits you if you haven't paid closing costs before. Otherwise, that money is wasted. We don't like to waste money because we need it. Life is expensive. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, home of the original no closing cost mortgage, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special. Interested in a career with Bojangles? Then stop by Bojangles Hiring Day, September 4th. Click bojanglesrdu.com/hiring day for more details.
Ready for your next ride? Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford has the newer used car you've been dreaming of, plus state-of-the-art service and collision centers. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC. 3 great brands, 1 trusted name. Visit today or at wilkinsoncars.com.
What sounds like a fun weekend?
Let's rent e-bikes and have a picnic.
What does not sound like a fun weekend?
We need to fix the gutters. Let's make 6 trips to the hardware store and still end up with leaky spots.
Preserve your weekend, your home, and investment, and call Preserve Services instead. Our Preserve team excels in interior and exterior painting and home repairs. We're your one-stop shop in the Triangle for jobs you need done, but don't want to tackle. And get this, you don't pay a penny until the job's done. Schedule today at preserveservices.com.
Parenting is hard. Technology can make it harder. The Family Media Plan developed by the American Academy of Pediatrics helps make it easier. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan today to create the media plan that's right for your family.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Person in front of me in line had a box of wine.
Oh, yeah. I feel that person. If you are buying boxed wine on a Friday, that thing is open right now.
In the car.
Yeah. I don't even need it to cool down.
She jammed a big straw right through the top of the box in the car.
Went to the gas station to get a cup of ice. Like, they don't even care.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. It's a Chip Patterson Wednesday. We'll talk college football with the man who knows more about college football than anybody I know. That comes next hour. But right now, it is time. We have 3 weeks left of baseball's regular season.
I think so,
Is that, am I accurate there? I have no idea. We're almost done. Right, we are getting right down to it. It kind of looks like we know who the playoff teams are going to be. There's a little bit of a narrowing gap maybe in the American League, but I think we pretty much know who the playoff teams are going to be. As we bring in ESPN analyst, Substack writer, and 9-year big league veteran Doug Glanville. I look at the standings, sir, and the Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in baseball. Are they the best team?
They are the best team. I mean, until, the Los Angeles Dodgers have the crown, so you still have to beat them. It doesn't make them the best, but they're certainly playing the best baseball. I've seen them a couple of times. They're pretty amazing. The fact that they have contributions all through the lineup. They handle the bat. They run the bases. They really don't make a lot of mistakes, which is a big thing. Because I think the thing is, what makes them stand out also is the fact of the time we're in. Like, okay, I came up and we would learn 15 different ways to slide into a base before you advance to the next level. You had to learn every little facet of the game to be like a complete fundamentally sound player. That was just a requirement. And now guys just, shoot through the system because they, pitch recognition and certain things, and that just gets them advanced. And they don't necessarily have to have all these other things. They probably played more baseball in youth sports, but it's a different day now. And so when you see a team that's so sound fundamentally, consistently, then you notice like that's hard to do today, because usually you have a lot of young guys, and they're young, that are still figuring out how to slide, how to throw to the right base, how to do, Pat Murphy works on that stuff. So to me, that's what makes them stand out more, because they're good, but it's the way they're good. And some of it is just actually what they're not doing, and that is like not making a lot of mistakes.
Doug Glanville is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. You mentioned a couple of things that, as we were closing in, we're 4 weeks away from the postseason. To me, defense, base running, and bullpen, I think those things decide who wins and who doesn't, because the mistakes that you make, I think back to whether it was Lonnie Smith in 1991 for the Braves, or whether it was Timo Perez for the Mets in 2000. Base running will cost you runs, and cost you games. And those types of things, they're the little things that don't necessarily impact the regular season, but I think they lead to postseason wins and losses.
Well, they always say pitching and defense, and sometimes that's just something we say, but it's a real thing. The team that hits the most home runs usually wins a lot of games in the postseason, but the team that prevents those home runs, right, that's a big, other side of that equation, and no doubt mistakes, add up very quickly. We talked to Rob Thompson before the game, the Phillies manager, on Monday. I guess that was a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how, we have to shift gears now. This is go time, and it's so interesting that the distinction that's made between like regular season and postseason, it's made in September. It's made in late August. It's made. They're like, okay, now we're going to bunt more. We're going to hit and run. We're going to. Castellanos is no longer going to play right field in the late innings for defensive replacements. Mm-hmm. It's another season. But the cool thing about the Brewers is they don't have to change anything. they just play their game. It's like, so there's something to be said for consistency and just like being who you are. And Murphy, he's so good at that. And the Brewers, I said, as an organization, is just good at that.
Doug Glanville is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show as we get to the postseason. A career 2,000 OPS in the playoffs, Doug Glanville. That was a true fact, Doug.
Yes.
It's a true fact. You can't deny what it says on baseballreference.com. Let me ask you about Juan Soto. Everybody knows I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. He had a very, very rough first month, maybe the first 6 weeks. He went through even another slump, I think, just coming out of the All-Star break. But it does look like in the last month that he looks very much like the Juan Soto that the Mets signed for $1 billion, zillion, trillion, quadrillion dollars. How good is he? Is he an MVP candidate? Although he wasn't even an All-Star. I'm not sure you could do both of those. But what are your thoughts on where he is? And can he carry the Mets beyond where they seem like they're capable of being right now?
Juan Soto is just, he's a generational talent. And, I look at the first month and, I don't know. I wasn't thinking that that's how his season would end. I think he tends to, first of all, one thing when we talked to Carlos Mendoza about it, his manager, he's like, look, it's a huge transition, and yes, it's self-imposed, but the fact is you have to learn a whole new, teammates and players and coaches and analytics department, what data you're going to use, and you're moving whatever family. And he made that choice, but it's not exactly an easy transition. And to just walk right in and be like, oh, I'm going to hit 400 this month. Some people do, some people don't. And by the way, and he's always been hitting the ball hard, too. That's the thing. Like, when he hits it on the ground, sometimes you lose sight of that he's still hitting the ball 97, 100 miles an hour. And, even when he's struggling, you're kind of like, he's getting his walks and he's hitting the ball hard, so, it's just one of those, you can't steer it. And there's times in the year he's finding holes, there's times he's not. But in the long haul, he's just going to be one of the best players, best hitters in the game. And it's just now coming sort of together at a time that the Mets definitely need that extra push. And but as you mentioned, they have to pitch, and whether it's young guys or whether it's the veterans, they have to find ways to get the outs. And Manaea and some of these cats are not where they want to be. But they made the moves they were supposed to move at the trade deadline to get the pitching. Now they have to actually execute on the field.
Doug Glanville is joining us here, ESPN baseball analyst, former big leaguer. Here's the thing, though. Right now, the second rookie is just a one-star deal. James McClain looks like he might be for real. By the way, Garner High School guy, so the people listening to this right now locally are pretty excited about that. We talked to his high school baseball coach a week ago. These guys are being brought to the big leagues quicker than ever. For a lot of reasons, it's financial. I don't know if that's the reason for the Mets. They desperately needed pitching. But what are the odds that he can sustain this into October?
Well, McClain has got some really good stuff, and when we talked to his manager before, because we called his first game against Seattle, and I got to see, okay, where's this guy coming from? And I don't think he was even in camp the 2 years before. He was a shortstop or whatever.
Yeah, so, he was drafted as a two-way player.
Yeah, and he's like a big swing and miss. He had like a 50%, strikeout rate, but he hit the ball a long ways. So, but McClain, he just loved his makeup. He said he actually intentionally went to the backfield to see him and, heard some good things and liked his makeup and saw how he handled. And just like the other night, he got in a little jam, he was walking people, but he doesn't give in, and then he makes the pitches he needs to make. So that's a great attribute for any pitcher. And the question is, as the league adjusts to him, will that sort of neutralize? Because he got that wipeout sweeper slider combo, and he just locates it well enough to get a lot of chase, but he'll still be willing to throw it in counts where he's behind because he feels confident in his ability to locate. And so he has a lot. And from jump, Carlos Mendoza has been loves the guy. He just sees his demeanor, and as he always says, the game doesn't get too fast for him. That's saying a lot when it's your first year and you hadn't even been pitching that long, really, in the sense of that at this level with this level of consistency. So, yeah, you need guys like that. You need Marty Bystrom in the Phillies in '80 or whatever. You need guys to come in and just be rookies and unknowns and pitch really well. That Waldrop kid, Hurston Waldrop for the Braves, really tough, really good stuff. And so those are the X factors of what can separate a team for their ability to go deep into the postseason, because McClain could play a strong role.
I remember Marty Bystrom from my days playing Status Pro. I know you're a Stratomatic guy, and you still play Stratomatic. And I know you've written about it. I'm going to talk about your Substack here in just 1 second. But I am curious. It is not unusual to see a pitcher throw at the next batter after giving up a home run. But last night, Houston and the Yankees, Framber Valdez apparently beamed his own catcher, Cesar Salazar, after giving up a home run. Have you ever seen that? And what does that dugout likely look like in between innings? Because it was clear looking at the video that Salazar knew what happened.
I mean, I'm so digesting if it's believable. If I just almost can't believe it, right? It's stunning to watch, and I know the quotes are kind of the right words, but I think it's just the dismissiveness by when it did happen, there was no concern. It was just usually oh my God. It's you're just upset about it, the cross up and whoever's fault it is, someone, and you didn't see that. It was almost yeah, take that,
right?
So I don't know, but if they do their, they know, of course, the Astros know. So if they do whatever internal, I won't say investigation, but they just figure out what I think that's a big deal. That's a big deal because it's like you can't, if they find that he did that intentionally and just didn't care, it changes your whole culture and your manager. It's like what you're going to just like. I mean, this is a 90-something. First of all, you could really hurt somebody,
right.
Obviously, but besides that, there's a whole other implications about just respect for your teammates. So I think that we're going to hear a lot more about that. I mean, I'm sure the Astros don't want that, but it's just like it was just stunning. It was stunning to watch, and you want to think like, okay, heat of the moment, and he called the wrong call, but you have a pitch comm. That's the other problem. Like it's
right.
It's like, okay, I pressed the button. And did it come out in another language, or did something? You thought it said you need like Google Translate for the catchcom. I'm trying to figure out like what. So but if I'm on that team, if I'm a catcher, that is enraging.
Yeah,
enraging.
I don't understand. I just don't understand teammates doing that to teammates. But Framber Valdez had worked himself up into a lather, obviously. All right, finally, Unboxed with Doug Glanville, a 3-part Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, it was time. I've been writing a lot, and so you have the Substack. I don't have these layers, but I do have a overarching Substack called Welcome to Glanville, and then we have an unboxed sort of section, which is usually it's like the paid section because I unbox all this memorabilia and I write about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think the thing that I'm really passionate about is just the rhythm of writing, and Hall & Oates it's been close to my life all as well as I can remember, and it was like 40 years of music. But yeah, it was time. I've written a lot of different things in different versions of articles about them, and baseball and Hall & Oates, I just wanted to hone in and finally sit down. I felt like I was ready. John Oates has a new album. The reason I met them was a kind of a bet or a promise made by my 6th grade teacher's husband, who edited Guitar Magazine. But we went over their house for dinner in 7th grade, which is another thing. Students and teachers having dinner is kind of awesome.
Wow.
And so about 7 or 8 of us went to dinner, and he asked about our dreams and our goals. And I told him I wanted to be a major league ball player. And he took the photo out of the center, which was Hart and Nancy Wilson, and signed it and said, "You know what? If you make it to the big leagues, I'll introduce you to Hall & Oates," because he knew their band.
Oh wow!
So I kept that. In 1998, I called them. I got up in '96. They weren't touring, and then '98, they were touring for Marigold Sky. This album had come out, and I got to meet them backstage at Radio City Music Hall. So I waited 15 years.
Wow!
So it was cool. And so it's 3 parts. Part 2 is almost done. And this should be cool. And then I've written my dedication and self-reflected and talked some baseball there too.
Awesome, absolutely awesome.
Sounds interesting.
Doug Glanville, huge Hall & Oates fan. He's like BFFs with John Oates.
Yeah, just humble bragging.
So yeah, kind of. That's Doug Glanville, and yes, it's true. A 2000 postseason OPS in his career. When we come back, we will question and answer time, because it is one-timers time this is Wednesday?
Yes.
On a Wednesday. Next.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is finally here. The National Football League is starting on Thursday. Dallas at Philadelphia. The defending champions will wheel out their Super Bowl trophy and taunt the Cowboys with it, because Dallas is somewhat pathetic. By the way, the Eagles are almost a touchdown favorite at home, and there will be pain. FanDuel getting you ready for kickoff with a great new offer for new customers. Bet $5, win that bet, get $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Win a bet, get $300 of our money. FanDuel.com/AGS. Download the FanDuel app today. FanDuel.com/AGS. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Public power line workers use a variety of specialized skills to build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system. As a public power line worker, you can expect a career that allows you to work close to home, a safety record superior to other energy providers, and training and apprenticeship opportunities. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
My name is Andrew Dotson. I'm a peer support specialist here at Phoenix Counseling Center. As a young man, 18 years old, I joined the military, went to Afghanistan in 2012, went through some hard situations, saw some things that were traumatizing. There's a number that I memorized, 105. That's the room number right around the corner. Room 105 was where I stayed last time I was a patient here, right before I got ready to really get sober. The first step in recovery is walking through the door and saying I need help.
Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's what.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Chip Patterson next hour. A lot of college football, some NFL stuff as well. It is game week for week 1 for the Carolina Panthers. By the way, I was looking at, I follow various sports writers around the country on Twitter, and one of the guys I follow happens to write for Newsday in New York. They've got like 6 or 7 writers, and so they all released their NFL predictions this season. And there were a couple that predicted the Panthers to win the NFC South.
Okay.
So,
I don't hate that.
No, like I said before, I think there's a comparison between the Jaguars and the Panthers on a couple of fronts. Quarterbacks still developing, haven't yet proven themselves, and a division that is potentially there to be won.
Yeah.
Now in the case of the NFC South, probably takes more than 9 wins. Probably takes 10, maybe 11. But it's a winnable division, even for Jacksonville, although I'm not, I don't fancy the Jaguars. One quick correction. I called him James McClain or something like that. It's Nolan McClain. At some point, I will get that right all the time. I did not this time. I apologize to the McClain family if they're listening.
Well, we're just trying to remember what day of the week it is.
I have no clue on that.
No.
All right, Q&A.
Okay, so this one was from yesterday, and they added me on Twitter, so you can do that or the YouTube stream because we have them from both today. So this one, will Bill Belichick coach UNC in a bowl game in 2025, which it would technically be 26. But
well, no, it might be a bowl game.
Could be in 2025.
I mean, more than likely it would be a 2025 bowl game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming they'll get to 6 wins. It certainly is called into question. Yes. That's my answer.
Okay. This one next, it's talking about the Carolina Hurricanes' new jersey, road uniforms, which I have a poll on our YouTube stream, so you can let us know whether you like it or don't, and why or why not. But this one from the YouTube stream, thoughts on the vintage college-style Stormy logo. I love Stormy.
I love strutting Stormy. I really do. I like it a lot. It's my favorite part of the new uniform. I will say that if they just took off the red block area on the sleeves,
right,
I think more people would be on board with it.
Okay. A little too much red, you think, for some?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I don't know if you have time for this one, but do you think FBS teams should do away with the FCS game, or does it make sense to make it a preseason style?
That's the answer. Make it a preseason game. That's really what they should do. Preseason game, plus your allotted 12, soon to be 30.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you will not want to miss. New customers, bet $5, win that bet, get $300 of our money in bonus bets if you win. So pick something you can win, like, Philadelphia is going to beat the Cowboys, right? And then you win your money. Our money, actually. $300 in bonus bets goes a long way. You can spend all of that on the Ryder Cup. Then you can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Oh, those are fun rides. NFL season's finally here. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. Download the app today. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special. Interested in a career with Bojangles? Then stop by Bojangles Hiring Day, September 4th. Click bojanglesrdu.com/hiring day for more details.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/sendusin.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
Get in the hole! That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Haynes King gets his team up at center. Crowd rises to their feet, takes the snap, fakes the pitch. Same play as they got on the third down play, but King breaks away down the right side, moves outside the numbers. He will glide into the end zone inside the right pylon. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Haynes King from 45 yards out puts the Yellow Jackets ahead.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. How's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday afternoon in the capital city of North Carolina, the day the Hurricanes dropped brand new away uniforms? We have a poll currently on the YouTubes.
Yep.
What do you mean the YouTubes? That's right. You can go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, either one. You can watch the show live.
Mm-hmm.
You can participate in the survey. You can put questions into the chat box.
Yeah. I even said why or why not, so you can elaborate.
All right. So, what is the verdict on how many on whether or not people like them or not?
Okay, so the first maybe 5 minutes I had it up, it was big time no. But now that it's been...
We're rallying.
We are rallying after we talked to Matt Sutor, the VP of
Like
marketing
giving up a goal in the first 5 minutes. A lot of hockey left, people.
Yeah, it's changed. Totally flipped. So now we are at about 80% yes, 20% no.
Okay.
Of not liking the new road uniforms.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
What, 80% they don't like it?
They like it.
80% like
they
it.
do.
Okay. Because if we were like working double negatives there, that's pretty clever.
Do you not like it?
Do you hate this?
Do you not hate this?
Wait. Anyway.
I don't know.
Like I said before, first of all, I think there's too much red on the sleeve. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the Stadium Series uniform, it is essentially the same uniform, except wherever you see black, put white.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially the same uniform. And I dug those uniforms for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I mean, the numbers are not black. The numbers are the numbers on the Stadium Series uniforms were black on the back. They were a little bit difficult to see, but they were just. I thought they were cool. I thought they were cool sweaters. Ultimately, they're just uniforms. And if you get really bent out of shape over it, you're probably just looking for a reason to get really mad.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the collegiate style strutting Stormy.
Yes.
I do like that. And for people who go, I guess if we're using the strutting, it's similar to the strutting wolf, right? But to me, it bears as much resemblance to the more menacing looking Carolina UNC Ram, right, as it does the strutting wolf. So to me, it's really an homage to collegiate branding, and I think it's sharp. And maybe it's not appropriate for a jersey, but I think it's absolutely doable on a sweatshirt,
I need to
on
get
a
shirt.
T-shirt, on a hat, on an umbrella.
Bumper sticker.
Bumper sticker.
Yeah, I've seen it on people's cars.
Like if it's a magnetic decal.
Yeah, I don't put. Well, no, I take that back.
Give me the strutting Stormy for a magnetic decal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bumper sticker. Why?
I don't put stickers on the car itself. I'll put it on the window maybe, but not on the car.
Okay.
There are plenty of people who
do that.
You can scrape it off the window much easier than
Okay, I don't want to have to scrape anything off the window.
I'm just
except
saying.
maybe a bird.
Yeah,
if that's happened.
There's plenty of that.
That has happened. All right, so let's roll through some other things. Second go round, the news of the day. We already gave you one of the top stories, which of course is the Hurricanes with a new white away jersey. It is Panthers Week 1 game week, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock in Jacksonville, and Dave Canales for the first time. And I drew some. To me, there is a comparison between the Jaguars and the Panthers in that you've got two teams with still developing quarterbacks. Now, Trevor Lawrence is already into his second contract. And I'm telling you, I'm not wrong here. He is still a developing quarterback. I have not been a fan. I have not been a fan of Trevor Lawrence since his third year of college. I think he is, if he were not 6'6", 240 pounds, I'm really not sure Jacksonville would have signed him to the long-term extension.
Yeah.
I think he is, at this point, still in his career, just sort of getting by. He's a physical specimen. He really is.
Loves Waffle House.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah, he talked about after winning one of the games, him and his girlfriend and a bunch of the guys went to Waffle House. So
perfect.
He makes good choices
I would
there.
like to know what his hash brown order is.
Oh, well.
Right?
Yes. That's
There's
key.
a lot of options.
You can
Scattered,
mess it up.
smothered, covered, chunked. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, there's a whole list.
A whole bunch of things. All right, so we have that, and we have the fact that they both reside in divisions that they could win. Maybe not because of them, but because of the things happening to the teams around them. And they also have this wildly fascinating Travis Hunter. Dave Canales on being the first to dip their toe in that water.
A special player for sure, but it goes beyond that. I think it's anytime you play a team where you have new coordinators coming into play, familiarity with Liam, with what he did in Tampa, but then this is a totally different group. They're kind of built differently with their skill players on offense and some of their tight ends. I'm sure they're going to use them in different ways than what we've seen. We might see some similarities, and same thing goes for the defensive side. You got a new defensive coordinator. He's been a couple of places, and it's you take the preseason and you got to think, okay, well, if he's calling plays really for the first time in a while, like some of the rhythms of how he's going to call it may show up in the preseason, but we have to assume they're not showing everything, just like we showed most of our stuff, not everything. So those things present their unique challenges, because while it's still going to come down to our execution, you like to have your 60 or 70% or better tendencies, whether it's offense or defense, and we really don't know what those things are. So we're going to have to be taking a lot of notes, early on in the game to kind of see what the game plan is and just make sure that what we're doing, attacks that or fits that.
All right, one more thing is so much was made of the Adam Thielen trade because, and Canales alluded to it last week, the emergence of Jalen Coker, and now Coker is out with a significant quad injury. He's going to miss the first month of the season at least. Hunter Renfrow is back, and Dave Canales has thoughts on that.
Yeah, it was in our last practice. He got a pretty significant quad strain. So, bummed out for Jalen, who's had a fantastic camp. And yes, excited that Hunter, we got that done, and really got to give a lot of credit to Dan and Brant, Hunter and his crew for just working through it. We were going to have this conversation ongoing, and couldn't be a better opportunity, right now. Based on the situation we're in, we're so blessed to be able to have Hunter come back to us here and decide to continue with us, with the Panthers. We're stoked about it, and he had a great day today. But I'm really glad that the guys were able to, find a common ground and an agreement.
It's too bad for Coker because, to me, and I said this last week, I think his emergence as somebody that probably needed to be in the starting lineup really opened the door for Carolina to move Adam Thielen. To me, that's the reason. If Coker has not developed to the point where he could start, then I don't think Thielen's traded. I think he means too much to Carolina. And now you bring Hunter Renfrow in, who you waived, by the way, when you had to cut down to 53 men.
Right.
And right now, I'd be almost baffled if he wasn't one of the 3 starting wide receivers, because they basically do one running back, one tight end, and
now that
3
his
receivers.
daughter let him get the phone call about the contract.
Exactly.
Did you hear that? 11 times because she was watching something called Bluey. She was watching some cartoon called Bluey.
Well, maybe it was Blue's Clues.
Maybe that's the newer.
Is that
Blue's
still on?
Clues. I don't think so.
Blue's Clues has to still be on.
Biff doesn't have control of the TV, so I don't know what he watches.
By the way, I don't remember his name, but the original host Steve.
Yeah.
Way better than who's the other next guy, Joey?
Yeah. I have no idea. I'm from Steve generation.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve would kick the other guy's rear end up and down, I don't know, Mint Street.
Yeah. He's got a new podcast, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Exactly.
I might. All right. We'll break right there. Chip Patterson will join us on the other side. Okay. Carolina, it didn't go well. Was that a harbinger or just game 1? Next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
I don't know about you, but tomorrow's NFL regular season game isn't the only thing I'm excited about. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and this week looks absolutely perfect to take a random ride around town, just to de-stress a little bit. And if you're like me, after this Thursday, my weekends are going to be completely consumed by football and MMA, of course, but midweek rides are sometimes just what the doctor ordered. But of course, while you're out getting a little motorcycle therapy, the risk of an accident is always there. So if you are ever in a wreck on your motorcycle, make sure to call Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders just like us. They get it. They know the value of your bike, your gear, and the investment that you've made, and what it's like to go through an accident. Your case evaluations will always be free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem with gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today, 919-200-4000. That's 919-200-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Adam Gold.
See Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Ever since, it was actually well back to Sunday. Ever since Miami Notre Dame went final on Sunday, or maybe even earlier than that, I had this burning desire to talk to Chip Patterson. I wanted so much to talk to him Saturday after Alabama, Florida State. I wanted so much to talk to him after Clemson, LSU, Miami, Notre Dame, and UNC, TCU.
Yeah, there's a podcast for that, Adam.
I know, but I can't. No. Wait. That's Chip Patterson, by the way, Cover 3 podcast moderator and my friend, CBSSports.com. But I left you. You don't understand how hard it was to resist the urge to text you, just to start to engage. But I knew you were busy, so I left you alone. So
that doesn't stop anybody else.
I
Feel
understand.
free.
I understand. And normally I would, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Week 1, there's a lot of stuff going on. It was a great weekend of football, and the truth is, there was a ton of ACC interest, and I think it was a lot more good than bad. My own feeling was if I was just looking at it from an ACC perspective, which I am, so I shouldn't even preface it that way. I actually think it was a good weekend for the ACC because 2 of the 3 big boys I thought showed well. Mm-hmm. And I think you can certainly explain Clemson away by saying LSU just might be that team.
Yeah.
So we'll get to all three of those in a minute, but I got to start with UNC because I kept remembering and even referencing, whether it's on this show or with people I was texting with during the game, something you said to me 3 months ago, that you thought Carolina's talent level would not be as good this year as it was last year. And to me, I looked at a team that I thought you were very accurate. That just resonated with me. I didn't think that they looked like they could handle football at a high level just with their personnel. So, I mean, they were getting thumped, so it makes it more difficult to see anything positive. What were your overall thoughts coming out of Monday night?
I thought this before Bill Belichick said it. I thought this in the third quarter. I think that North Carolina is better than what they showed.
Yeah.
Do you know who else was like that? The Alabama Crimson Tide. I still believe that they are a super talented team.
Right.
But they got pushed around.
They did.
I mean, I'm really starting to dial in to and some of the struggles of new starting quarterbacks all across the country. Because guess what? We don't have any Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel 12th year starters anymore. The COVID kids are all out of the system.
Right.
So some teams showed up and did not play to their talent level. And for North Carolina, it was physicality in the trenches.
Yeah.
TCU was the more physical team. They brought some fight, and North Carolina did not respond. And, even having some conversations with people who are, close to the program, I'll say people who do actually get to watch practice, not like the 10 minutes that you get to go from 55 yards away to try to figure out who's who and what's what. But the people who do get to see practice, that was the conversation. Like they got whipped, like the honest assessment. You guys got whipped at the line of scrimmage. They came out, and by the way, TCU, they put in a triple option defense. They put in a wing T defense. They had no idea what North Carolina was going to do offensively. North Carolina comes out in that 12 personnel. They're bringing out 6 offensive linemen, and they have that great first drive.
Yeah.
And then TCU put in the adjustment, and North Carolina had no counterpunch. And it was so crucial for North Carolina to have a response. Because, look, if that game is 13-7 at halftime and you don't have the pick six right before half, then it's a little bit of a different ball game. You at least you're still in this.
Yep.
But on the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter, 75-yard touchdown, bad, and like on a buck sweep.
Untouched.
Just like
Untouched.
Bad gap fit. The soul and the spirit left that sideline, left that building.
Yeah.
And from there, it was TCU getting to dance on their grave. That's what has me thinking that the biggest disappointment is that for all of Bill Belichick's bona fides, the one question we were never going to know until Monday night was how he was going to get a different type of football player, a different age of football player, a roster who does not have an overwhelming amount of future pros. How are they going to have them mentally prepared? And again, like I'm using the Alabama example because it's similar, but on a very different scale. One of the great challenges of college football in 2025 is getting your team mentally ready to go so that they are fired up for the violent physical war that's about to take place. And North Carolina got their tails whipped.
Yeah,
and so now we get the next part that I said is going to be the great challenge for Bill Belichick. How do you guide a college football locker room through adversity and keep this from being a Florida State situation? Because Florida State had a team full of transfers and they hit adversity, got off to an 0-2 start, and quit.
Yeah, they did.
And so that is the greatest challenge for Bill Belichick. It's not trying to decide between Max Johnson and Gio Lopez. It's not trying to figure out how you don't let Marcus Allen get burned for 55 targets and 100 catches and all of the yards and 45 missed tackles.
Right. I snorted.
Good. Yeah, number 29 for those who weren't at home. They didn't throw at Thaddeus Dixon. Thaddeus Dixon's going to go to the NFL. They found number 29 and they said, we're just going to keep going at him over and over and over and over and over again. And that was the offensive plan when it came to Josh Hoover. So it's not going to be coming up with those schematic changes, Adam. It's going to be guiding a locker room through adversity when that locker room are not playing for their jobs.
Yeah.
And have very different motivations. And so can he and this staff be able to get that done?
In some ways, Chip Patterson, always on Wednesdays, in some ways, Mac Brown is kind of needed here, right?
Yes.
Because, right, the Mac Brown approach, I'm not sure Bill Belichick can apply that Mac Brown technique, but somebody's going to need to guide these guys through. I know they have been around the head coach for several weeks at this point, but Bill is very matter of fact. I know he didn't like what he saw. That was fairly obvious. And I said yesterday that what kept running through my mind, and you remember, I used to have John Bunting on the show every Monday, during the football season. It was the first item we did. Like we'd play the music, like whatever No Doubt theme song I was using at the time, and then John Bunting would be on it like 01. And one of the first things Bunting told me after a blowout was, we just couldn't get lined up correctly. And I thought, man, what an unbelievable admission that we couldn't get lined up right. But that's the way it looked to me, that North Carolina just wasn't properly positioned because they were so easily blocked. There were, I didn't think missed tackles were as much the problem as just not being there to make the tackle.
Well, yeah, I think Tom, by the way, for those who have listened to it or reached out, I appreciate it. Apparently I sounded extremely distraught on the Instant Reaction show.
Did you?
Yeah. I went into the box that is reserved for the TCU athletic director.
Right.
Because obviously they had already split to go to the locker room. And as I was in there, the staff came in and they put up the covering on the open air press box. So then I was just trapped in a glass case of emotion, just sitting in there eating my feelings. And but Tom pointed out, he said they were out of position, and then when they were in position, they didn't wrap them up and bring them to the ground.
Right. So it was a combination of the two things. You mentioned Gio Lopez and Max Johnson. I mean, literally, you and I could probably spend the next 20 minutes just talking about all the things we didn't like about the UNC loss TCU. I will say that TCU looked to me, who knows what the level of competition they face. TCU looked to me to be the real deal, at least in that league. Yep. Does Max Johnson give them a better chance, or is it still Gio Lopez, or do they need both?
Ooh, they might need both because Max Johnson, it was facing a very different defense, but just looked so much better throwing the football.
Better than he did last year against Minnesota, too. Obviously pre-injury. So
yeah, I think that if you are struggling to run the football, then at least force it. Because I think that Jordan Shipp, I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I think that you've got individuals on this team.
Caleb Hood's a good player.
Green, 9, the other, also a wide receiver. North Carolina needs to be able to stretch the field, and I do not think that Gio Lopez showed enough command in terms of the passing game to really be a threat. But I do understand that we've got a different, mobility situation.
Yes.
I think both might be the answer. Or how about this, Adam? This is what I actually do believe. They need to be prepared to need both over the course of the next 11 games.
No doubt about it.
Because they do not have an identity. They might have to just throw some stuff at the wall. It might be a little bit tough to figure things out. They very clearly want to be physical at the line of scrimmage, but they need to get healthier along the offensive line because the troubles with the snap with the third string center, they can't be running out 12 personnel and 6 offensive linemen and then only being able to run the football for 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, 50 yards total. I mean, there were like 10 or 15 yards in sacks, but yeah, it was terrible, and they were just gashed on the ground. It was a 200 yards rushing difference between what TCU put out there and what UNC put out there. And the truth is that TCU could have rushed for whatever number they wanted. But hey, Hoover's a good quarterback. Let him throw. All right, let me move on to Duke real quick, because Duke struggled with Elon in the first half. It was 10-10. But I mean, I watched a ton of that. What I saw was Duke not being able to handle the quarterback run and pretty much being good everywhere else. It took them a little while offensively to get going. And obviously they had I think Duke's running game was a little bit of a concern. They had some big plays, but they weren't, wasn't 4 or 5 yards every pop like you'd like to see against Elon. So I have some concerns about that. But defensively, I think it was really just the quarterback run. Illinois coming up on Saturday is a much different challenge. Obviously, they're almost a top 10 team. So your thoughts going into this weekend?
Sure. So I think that Duke's defensive strength right now from a personnel perspective is in the secondary. I think they're very, very good on the back end of that defense. And to your point about the quarterback run game, their linebackers are going to need to be better, because while Luke Altmaier is a very good quarterback, Brett Bielema, with 5 returning starters along the offensive line, is going to be more than happy to just run the football and test those guys. So defensive line, linebackers need to be able to get off the field and give Darian Mensah possessions to be able to capitalize on whatever kind of advantage you can have from being at home and create some stress on a top 15 team that's coming into your building. So, the fact that Mensah lit it up after halftime, that was a good thing.
He's great.
I don't look at that as a garbage time all-stars. Let's poo-poo that. No, that's a new starting quarterback who needs to be in rhythm with his wide receivers. So that is a very good thing that he was able to have a strong finish. I think that it is going to be very, very important for Duke that they do not allow Illinois to run the football. My hunch is that is the game plan for the Fighting Illini.
Has to be.
Yep.
It has to be. On top of the fact that I think you want to keep Duke's offense off the field. So, even if you're
Duke plays fast. I mean, yeah, like Jonathan Brewer's offense is an up-tempo offense. That's the way you combat it. You help keep them from getting in rhythm. So, third down stops, run defense, that is the path to being able to make that thing tight late. And if it's tight late, that's where you go back to the identity of this Duke team, going back to the start of last season, that they've been able to more often than not come up with the winning plays.
All right. Speaking of struggling to run the ball, the only negative I really had, other than State again kind of got the least out of their effort, they couldn't run the football on East Carolina. They couldn't run it normally. C.J. Bailey was good when he ran it, but they couldn't hand it off after the first drive. They couldn't hand it off and gain yards. And look, I don't know if that's going to be a major problem for them against Virginia this week, but I think it's a major problem for them going forward if they can't fix it.
I don't know what Coastal Carolina is, but Virginia put them in a locker.
Oh, no, Virginia pummeled them. We talked about it before the season, that Virginia is probably a lot better.
Yeah.
You have concerns Saturday, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I have concerns Saturday. It was just such a disjointed game for NC State. And, I thought defensively, we've got a turnover. Tony Gibson leaves to go be the head coach at Marshall. DJ Elliott comes in. I thought they were flying to the football.
I liked them defensively.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about that side of the football.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was to take it at like a very low-hanging fruit. It was, all right, NC State, we got all these offensive weapons, Hollywood Smothers, CJ Bailey, Justin Joe Lee, Grimes, Rogers, like all these awesome tools, but are they going to be able to, are they going to score a whole bunch of points and give up a whole bunch of points? I was like, I don't know. Defensively, they were looking pretty good flying to the football. A little bit less aggressive later in the game.
Right. I thought they backed off a little bit, which allowed ECU to make that a game. I thought State just didn't get enough. Like, there should have been another minimum 10 points on the board that they just kind of, they did what they do, which is unfortunate.
A disjointed game. But you know what? Yeah. Do you know what NC State, and this is a connection that I'm sure no one adores, but I think that NC State and Miami had kind of similar games because they had really good starts. And then there was a point in the second half in both games where, because of the scarring that both of those fan bases have had, they're like, oh no, it's happening again. Oh no, it's happening again.
Yeah.
All the way to Miami settling for like a 48-yard field goal as the go-ahead opportunity.
Are you going to make me? You make me transition there right away.
Well, and then NC State, of course, gets the fourth down stop. Miami ends up getting the stop. It's great for them defensively, but that's why I say disjointed. Where for NC State, I just think it was a tough game for us to get a good feel because so many of the overarching narratives about the way that they handle leads, the way that they approach in terms of aggressiveness on both sides of the football, that all of that was coming in, and all of it on a Thursday night in week 1 against a team like ECU. It is not a flush it game by any means because there was a lot to take away and a lot to spin forward, but it was one where NC State's not going to have a 17-0 lead in a lot of games this year.
Right.
So, I'm going to give them another chance before I hit the panic button.
All right. Now, since you already have taken me there, and I have scars from that game, and I'm normally a guy who I like Notre Dame. I have no problem with them. So it's not about Miami versus Notre Dame. It's really Miami as representative of the ACC. To me, it was a game that Miami, based on what I watched, in the second half probably should have run away with that game.
Yes.
And Mario Cristobal tried to win that game with 27 points. And it was as though he was throwing the game. So my overarching question is, can they overcome the head coach during games? I'm not sure the answer to that is yes, but Carson Beck looked, as advertised, pre-injury, really good. I don't think he was great, but I think he was good. They've got playmakers, and they just kept running the same, running off the right side over and over and over again for 2 yards. And I'm like, you need 6 downs to get a first down if you keep doing this crap. And they kept doing it. I was a little disappointed with the broadcast for not pointing that out, but that's just a me thing. So
that's why we're here, Adam.
Thank you.
We're here to hold truth to power.
What are we doing? I'm screaming at the TV. Why are we doing the same thing that just didn't work last series? Help me out here, Chip.
All right. For fans in the area who are Miami fans.
Yeah. They're fun. You could be fun.
Your defense looks so much better.
Yep.
Change in coaching, some transfers. There's a guy named David Blay who came from Louisiana Tech and was in the middle of that defensive line. He had a couple big stops. We had heard from other player personnel, general manager types, that he was one of those guys that was on no one's radar. Miami offers, everybody else looks at him and goes, oh, crap. We should have been on,
right.
Like, schools with more NIL money than Miami. Because Miami, like when we talk about the big spenders, like Miami's not actually in that group compared to their ACC peers. Sure. But, at the very top of the sport, there are bigger money cannons that exist in college football.
Yeah.
But Miami found a guy from Louisiana Tech and David Blay anchoring the inside. Ruben Bain, who was never really healthy last year, he had a really, really good game.
Tremendous.
It all was looking so much better. But to your point, there were 22 minutes left in that ball game, and it's like Miami thought it was done.
I'm just screaming. What are we doing?
For a coach who famously did not kneel, it was as if we were trying to kneel out the clock for the final 22 minutes.
I use this as an example. It was right before Notre Dame had gotten the ball back. They were down 2 scores, and I went in and I was going to bet the live bet my Notre Dame to win. And I guess I had to re-log in, so it took an additional minute. And it went from plus 550 to plus 430, which is when I got it. 12 minutes later, Notre Dame was minus 118. 12 minutes. It took 12 minutes for that game to be tied. I was so annoyed. Of course, I lost the bet, which is good because I wanted the ACC to win. I hope they can overcome Cristobal.
Because they did this is the thing, is from a game management perspective. Think about this. We always hear about the middle 8, right? So Miami knows that they're going to be getting the ball to start the third quarter. They finished the first half with that incredible touchdown grabs from CJ Daniels, throw a touchdown on the board. They come out, they march all the way down the field, eat up 7.5 minutes of clock.
It's tremendous.
Another touchdown. And you're like, wow, this is it. Adam, they had the ball 5 more times, and they got 6 points. They had no touchdowns after that. Just 5 possessions, 2 field goals the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So, of course, Notre Dame got back into it because Notre Dame is a good football team.
Legit. They are a playoff football team.
Credit to Miami for being able to get the stop that they needed and late.
Yeah. All right. Woo! We only have a couple of more minutes left, so we got to rip through these. And I'm going to save Florida State, Alabama for last. You know me, I'm skeptical of Clemson. I'm skeptical of Cade Klubnik. So I'm not here to tell you that I'm right because I don't know. Because it is possible that LSU may end up being the best team in the SEC. Brian Kelly is already talking as though he knows he is. Bless Brian Kelly for adding spice to the sport, even though I kind of think he's a jerk. Is LSU that good? Because they looked that good to me.
Yes. I think the answer is yes. LSU is that good. I think that Clemson still has to be massively disappointed.
Sure. They should be.
Inability to run the football. Cade Klubnik being average.
They didn't try to run the football in the second half.
I mean, I love Dabo Swinney's transparency because I do think for somebody who everyone thinks might be full of it, I actually think he's pretty honest.
Mm-hmm.
But another reading of that is he'll throw some people under the bus,
Mostly punters.
Well, also, Andy Teasdale, pride of Winston-Salem in that 2015 ACC championship game.
No question.
But, I mean, Garrett Riley. I mean, there's just a lot of very open questioning in press conferences. We didn't get the run game going. We should have committed more to the run game. We should have okay.
Well, can't he do something about that? Can't he tell Garrett run the ball?
Like, I thought you were the big voice on the headset, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But even Dabo, he said, Cade will bounce back. Two's a dude was the quote. But even he said, he was like, he just didn't see some things. I mean, Cade Klubnik didn't see the plays that were there for him. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik had an average performance against above average / elite competition. That is a trend. And the expectation was that he was going to make the jump. And he is going to put up a lot of yards and touchdowns against ACC competition. And Clemson's very much in the mix to win the ACC. But because I was a believer, me thinking that Clemson was going to be set to make the college football playoff semifinals. I didn't have you as this is going to be the team that's going to be winning on the final Monday night. Too many questions had to be answered for me to go that far. But now it's a little bit less confident that if they do make the big dance, that they'll be sticking around for long.
All right. Real quick. A very impressive Florida State. Both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. I thought they pushed Alabama around. It was eye-opening to watch. So I think Florida State could be legitimately good. I'm not talking about playoff good or, time will tell. But for me, it's not about Florida State. It's about Alabama. And I do wonder, it's not Seattle where those people can stomach a season that isn't, 10 wins good. I'm not sure how they're going to stomach if Alabama is just okay. What's going on there? Because I know everybody's talking about it, but is Kalen DeBoer in some ways coaching the next month and a half for a third year?
Yes, unquestionably. I mean, if they fall short of playing to their talent level again and again and again, Adam, they're going to go 6-6.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they might find $80 million to get rid of him if they go 8-4.
Well, that's my point, is that they could be an 8-4 team or even a 9-3 team.
I think I mean, I know that we're all sort of sitting there. They have a tough enough schedule that 9-3 has you in the conversation. And unless there's just a total revolt going on, but here's when you're 5-5 in your last 10 games at the University of Alabama, that's a problem. When you have lost outright 4 times as a double-digit favorite.
2 touchdown favorite, not just double digits.
In 14 games.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that in 14 games of a sample size, and 4 of those times, all objective talent ratings have said you are 2 touchdowns better than that team. And you're just not doing a good job of getting them together. And we hear about the culture change, and we've heard about we've rebooted the culture 4 times since Kalen DeBoer was hired. We're running out of reboots.
Oh, man.
It's a problem. And do you know what's even worse? How about Keelan Russell, who might be the savior, the backup quarterback?
Right.
Liking memes on Instagram about how Alabama needs a new quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the new, you're talking about Florida State splintering last year. It's something that all coaches are going to have to deal with when the programs become transient, or transactional, where we have players shuffling in, shuffling out all over the place, keeping everybody on the same page because everybody's got different agendas. Chip Patterson, always Wednesday's my favorite day, sir. Thank you.
Sounds good. Y'all be well.
See, what happens is when you're trying to speed the end up, because we've talked a long time. I combine words. All right, that's always great. There was too much to get to. Like, I felt like I should have given every subject more time, every single one. All right, we have to stretch. We'll place bets next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available. If you feel lonely, isolated, anxious, or overwhelmed, help is here all day and night. Call, text, or chat 988 without cost, without judgment, and without waiting for an appointment. You'll get support that can make a difference. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Turning 65 soon, navigating Medicare can be overwhelming and confusing, but you're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help. SHIP counselors can help you understand Medicare benefits to make your best choices. Visit ncship.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Public power line workers use a variety of specialized skills to build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system. As a public power line worker, you can expect a career that allows you to work close to home, a safety record superior to other energy providers, and training and apprenticeship opportunities. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
Crisis Services helped me get back on track. They listened without judgment and made sure I had the support that I needed.
No matter what you're going through, there's someone who will listen. I wasn't alone, and neither are you.
Whatever your crisis, you have options.
Reaching out for help was the best decision I ever made. You can too.
It's okay to need support. No matter your crisis, you have options. Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
Gold. Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
Oh, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Trey Wingo to talk NFL with us next hour. I needed a rest after that Chip Patterson segment. It's so much to cover. I didn't even give. Yeah. We didn't even give full credit, full run to some of the things we wanted to. So we'll get to it. It's a long season. All right, let's stretch.
Okay, so did you happen to see a video that was kind of circling Twitter this weekend of a guy who snatched a hat from a kid at the U.S. Open?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Which was terrible.
Yeah. Punch in the face terrible.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. Well, there's some details about this story.
I think I know some of these details.
This guy who snatched a hat. So for anybody who didn't see it, at the U.S. Open, at the end of the match, there is it Camille? I don't want to butcher his last name, but there was a tennis star who was signing things and, giving out stuff. Well, he takes his hat off of his head and was going to give it to the kid that was right in front of him, but this older gentleman who was right beside the kid snatched the hat before he could.
He was it looked like mid-30s maybe?
Probably, or even older. Yeah, early 40s.
And he was with his wife or girlfriend.
Right, yeah. I would say, he's in that range, maybe 40s. But the kid basically looks at him and is like, dude, what are you doing? Well, this guy is actually a CEO.
Yep.
He is of a Polish paving stone company. And his name, I think, is Piotr. I'm not going to butcher his last name.
Kochetkov?
I know. But it sounds like a villain from a show because he was. So he actually came out public. And I saw this on Twitter where he was kind of saying, oh, well, too bad, so sad.
And I'll sue you if you criticize me.
Yes, if you criticize me on anything. publicly criticized me. Well, I guess now he has since walked that all the way back. Maybe, but still you put that message out there, so that's going to live out there forever. But he said, quote, "I would like to unequivocally apologize to the boy who was harmed, his family, as well as all the fans and the player himself."
Is he giving up the hat?
Oh, no, well, he doesn't need to, because wait for it, the boy got his day. This guy is also trying to say the emotions and the crowd's joy after the victory. I was convinced that the tennis player was handing me the cap for my sons that you can't even see in the picture. Like, you can't even see his kids, like, around him. Yeah, okay, whatever, Polish CEO villain. And so the tennis player did not know about this until afterward because he was very tired, so he didn't even notice that this guy snatched it from the boy. Well, when he heard the story, he fixed it for this kid because afterward he gave him a whole bunch of swag. He got to take pictures with him and his family, so he didn't need that old sweaty hat. He got a new one, I think.
Gosh.
So yeah, let's in a world of videos, we probably shouldn't be.
That dude was an embarrassment.
I know.
It was so infuriating.
So bad. I know. It made me icky. Like, watching it, I was like, oh man, dude, I got words.
Like I'm not even gonna lie here. It bothers me when adults ask for autographs.
Oh yeah.
It does. Like, kids, to me, and I'm militant about this, so like, take this with a grain of salt. For me, that's about kids' fandom. Mm-hmm. It's not about anything else. Unfortunately, it's money to adults.
Big time.
And that bugs me.
It definitely is. But yeah, no, that guy was not. He was the loser of the weekend. But the boy ended up being a winner.
Good
for him and good for the tennis player that made it right. And, you know, I wouldn't buy from his Polish company, Stone, whatever it is. But what I maybe would buy is a good bet.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right, let's rock and roll. Don't think I wanted it. No, I said under 8.5. Then the two tennis bets lost. Never mind. You go.
I know. Well, the White Sox decided to win yesterday, but I don't care because the Cubs are my team. So I'm hoping for a sweep. Sorry, Braves fans. Not sorry. Give me my Cubbies to win, and we'll go with the over 8 plus 175.
All right. We have the Phillies and Brewers in Milwaukee. It's only fun to pick anytime home run hitter. Andrew Vaughn, plus 450. Anytime home run. That's it?
You go again.
That's all we had time for? All right, let's do... I can't even force a World Cup qualifier soccer event at you. We'll be back.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Thursday, it all begins. The NFL season kicks off, and new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, $5 on it. If it wins, you get $300 of our money to use all across the app. You can build parlays, do whatever you like. Hey, Dallas and Carolina are basically the same odds to make the playoffs. It ain't great. The only question is, are you ready? FanDuel.com/AdamGold. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Pack Therapy is in session thanks to First Horizon Bank. It's Tim Donnelly from 99.9 The Fan alongside legendary Wolfpack play caller Mike Glennon.
Every episode of Pack Therapy is your chance to get dialed in with inside information on your team.
We'll set you up for every Wolfpack game all season long.
And we'll break down every contest, what went right and what could have worked better.
Plus, special guests to keep Wolfpack hope alive.
Follow and subscribe to Pack Therapy wherever you discover your favorite podcast and watch every episode on YouTube.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixings to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special. Interested in a career with Bojangles? Then stop by Bojangles Hiring Day, September 4th. Click bojanglesrdu.com/hiring day for more details.
What is dedication?
My daughter is biological and my son is adopted. I love them both so much. From the morning when you wake up to putting them to bed at night and every moment in between. I think a parent's job is to protect our children but also prepare them for the world so they become good, kind human beings.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Use the free tool. Learn if the online pharmacy you're using is safe.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show.
This is Aguiar taking a toss, and it's caught, middle of the field, out to the 5-yard line, touchdown Braylon Staley. Joey Aguilar throwing it down the middle of the field for 73 yards. Shotgun snap, Aguilar looking, pocket closing, dances out to his left, looks downfield, throws end zone, caught, touchdown. Nice job by Aguilar, finds Star Thomas, the running back in the end zone, 7-yard score, and Tennessee has a 37-14 lead.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Trey Wingo joins us in about 15 minutes. NFL season starts tomorrow. I don't know how many podcasts Trey still does. I got a list of at least 4 that I know he's involved with. Don't know if they're all still cranking out episodes, but he's got a new one called Straight Facts Homie.
Yeah, all facts. None of the fluff.
I listened to 1.5 of them already.
Okay. I only saw the promotion video he made.
Right. And he's got listen to the golf episode, and there's 2 football episodes. He had an episode with Mark Schlereth, and I listened to a chunk of that. So we're going to talk football with Trey Wingo coming up in about 15 minutes. We are here for you on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. The entire show, or the best parts of it anyway, are put out in podcast form later.
Shall I check our poll?
Yes.
Oh, here it is. So
By the way, the poll is about the Hurricanes' new away uniform, which some people liked, some people did not.
Yes. So the question is, so you know yes or no what that means. Do you like the new Carolina Hurricanes road uniforms? Why or why not? 83% yes.
Okay.
17 no.
There you go.
So that's where we're at right now.
Everybody likes something new.
Yeah.
Even though also everybody hates when things are new.
Change.
Exactly. All right. Let's do the wall of sound.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Let's start with the Carolina Panthers head coach, Dave Canales. Jalen Coker, for my money, was the reason that Adam Thielen could be traded. Coker's emergence in the preseason games, joint practices was looking like, okay, maybe the next Adam Thielen in some ways. And then he gets hurt, which does open the door for Hunter Renfrow. Here's Dave Canales.
Yeah, it was in our last practice. He got a pretty significant quad strain. So, bummed out for Jalen, who's had a fantastic camp. And yes, excited that Hunter, we got that done, and really got to give a lot of credit to Dan and Brant, Hunter and his crew for just working through it. We were going to have this conversation ongoing, and couldn't be a better opportunity, right now. Based on the situation we're in, we're so blessed to be able to have Hunter come back to us here and decide to continue with us, with the Panthers. We're stoked about it. And he had a great day today. But I'm really glad that the guys were able to, find a common ground and an agreement.
Stoked. Do we have a skateboard anywhere?
I know.
Renfrow said that it was other teams were interested, but he was either staying home or playing with the Panthers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So it says a few things. One, the area is home for him. He didn't want to leave home. But it also speaks to me, the culture that Dave Canales is cultivating there, and that is a good thing for the future. All
Just
right.
like the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, hopefully in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just have to win.
Yes, please.
It's been a minute. The Duke Blue Devils will host Illinois. We're going to get to the Illinois aspect of this in a second. I wonder how many people have ever thought, man, when the game's over, do coaches rush back and watch other games? Typically, my experience is that they don't. They certainly know what goes on, but they pretty much watch their games, their film, and opponents. A question was asked of Manny Diaz.
How many non-Duke games do you get to watch each week?
On TV, I suppose. There was one on last night. There was. I watched. I think it was baseball. The Red Sox.
I don't remember.
Oh, the shade.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So you played Elon. Now you got Illinois. What's the difference?
And what we say is great teams or great players, all they do is they just punish mistakes better than poor teams and poor players do. But you still have to make the mistake first, right? If Darian throws that ball to Smear, we can play the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a touchdown, right? But if he throws it to the inside, we can be playing the Kansas City, Little League team, and it's going to be a broken up pass. So we control what we get to do, and we try not to get into, because then you start looking at uniforms and, we'll play good against this team and not that team. We just try to really focus on us.
That is very coachy from Manny Diaz. All right, Harry Douglas, ESPN football analyst, NFL analyst, and we're still, like, all of the NFL people are dialed into what UNC is doing. All of them. It's been a topic on First Take. Get Up. UNC football is national. Harry Douglas, success for Bill Belichick and UNC this season is what?
They better make a bowl game. And I understand the turnover on the roster, 70 new people, but at the same time, you're Bill Belichick.
Yeah, figure it out.
You won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach for the New England Patriots. You won 2 with the New York Giants as the defensive coordinator. You figure it out. Because, like I mentioned, the schedule is not too daunting. The schedule is made out for you to be able to make a bowl game.
It ain't that hard to make a bowl game. I mean, if they are functional as a football team, they'll make a bowl game. They might not be functional as a football team, though. It does amaze me how many people underestimate just how untalented as a football program. We don't know this for sure yet, but how untalented they might be. Like, I get it. If TCU is really good, like top of the Big 12 good, then even if Carolina was just okay, it's going to look bad. We just don't know. But it's about talent. In the NFL, everybody's got talent, and it becomes coaching. In college football, because people like Mario Cristobal win a lot of games. It's about talent. It's not really about the coaching in games. All right, Bill Barnwell from ESPN, by the way, has a book out. We need to track him down. On how the Cowboys, how much will they miss Micah Parsons?
Over the last 4 years, the Cowboys have been the best defense in football. Without him on the field over the last 4 years, they have been the worst defense in football. That is the Micah Parsons difference. And I know they've made other changes. Kenny Clark is a good player. He is going to help their run defense. But it is such a sacrifice. And after you spend all offseason preparing your defense with the new guy, Matty Eberflus, figuring, okay, we're going to be building around Micah Parsons. All of our pressures, all the opposing team's pass protections are going to be shaded towards Micah Parsons. He's going to be the focal point of our defense. You're starting over like 2 weeks before the season. I mean, I just don't think it is going to be a great situation for the Cowboys, especially against that great Eagles offensive line.
Yeah, but they'll be much better stopping the run, according to Jerry Jones, the general manager. Here's the thing. Everything Jerry Jones said at that press conference about being, it'll help us improve today and down the road because of all that draft capital. Look, there's only so much you can do with the 30th pick in the first round 2 years in a row. And roughly, if Green Bay does well, that's in the ballpark of where that pick's going to be. Very late, like 28, 29, all the way through 32. It's going to be something like that. You didn't add, essentially, like to put it in NBA terms, you didn't add a lottery pick. You added, a great second rounder is what you added. I don't think Jerry really gets it. And when we talk to Trey, I know this is going to sound like gratuitous, but it's not. I do wonder if there is cognitive decline in Jerry Jones. Because the decisions that they make over and over and over again are idiotic. Praising the fact that Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in the sport. A, is there a trophy for that? B, since he's not the best quarterback in the sport, isn't it embarrassing that he's the highest paid?
Should be.
I wouldn't be selling that. I would be selling the opposite of Patrick Mahomes is the 7th highest paid quarterback in the game. And he's the best quarterback. That's what I would be selling. Jerry is Dallas's biggest weakness. And he doesn't get it. And there's nobody who will tell him that. Maybe Trey Wingo will tell us that. We'll talk to him next.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
We are knocking on the door of the regular season for the Carolina Panthers, and there are still so many questions on the defensive depth chart. The depth, the second unit. What happens if someone gets hurt? For the Carolina Panthers defense is the type of question where the answers are harrowing. You don't want to see them. It's like the end of a horror movie. Just roll credits.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
we have been given a late summer treat. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and Mother Nature has decided to tease us with these pre-fall temps, which just so happens to be my favorite time of the year to ride. And maybe with it not being so hot outside, you think, well, that's one less thing I gotta worry about melting under my gear. But one thing you should definitely never sleep on is the drivers you share the road with. So many people might be distracted. If a random rain shower pops up, it could cause poor visibility. And then sometimes it's just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But if you're ever in an accident on your motorcycle, make sure to call my friends at Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders too, so they get it. They know the value of your bike, your gear, the investment that you've made, and what it's like to go through an accident. Case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria's producing the program. We are trying to do the back timing here. 28 hours away? No, a little bit more. 30 hours away from the start of the NFL season. Dallas will be in Philadelphia. Trey Wingo has another podcast, Straight Facts Homie. 3 episodes that I know of in. 2 of them on the NFL, 1 on golf. Yes, I listened to the golf one first. I have no idea. Half Forgotten History, Chasing It with Chase Daniels, 33rd Team, Alternate Routes, Mr. Podcast, Trey Wingo. The NFL season is here. How are you, sir?
Good, Adam. How are you, man? Always good to talk to you.
I appreciate your time. I did a little bit before the break about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys and the trade of Micah Parsons. There are so many angles to this conversation. Jerry's press conference, to me, was a walking contradiction or a sitting contradiction because he talked about how much better Dallas is going to be now and in the future. Right, exactly. Like, they tried to sign Micah Parsons for a year and a half to a contract that was below Micah Parsons. So, obviously, he knows they're not better, but I'm not sure he knows because I wonder if there is cognitive decline in Jerry. What's your view of the way the Cowboys are currently being run?
Well, there's a lot to get in there. Let me just say, I don't disagree with you. He kept calling Micah Parsons Michael, and it reminded me in 2008, Al Davis held 2 press conferences, one to fire Lane Kiffin and just excoriate him.
Yeah.
And then they had a 15-minute break because we do this twice, one to fire Lane and then one to bring in the new head coach, Tom Cable. Well, they in that 15-minute break, they forgot to turn Al's mic off. And in the break between those 2 press conferences, and I posted this on a little Instagram thing about, and you can see the video there, of what happened. He said, well, who's going to introduce Tom? I don't know anything about him. So basically you have the owner of the team basically saying, we've hired this new guy to replace Lane Kiffin. He's going to be great. And he didn't know a damn thing about who Tom Cable was. So, and that's, I got shades of that during that Jerry Jones press conference. But I need to be clear about a couple of things. And this is part of the thing we're doing, Straight Facts, homie. No opinions, no hot takes, just facts and information.
Right.
When you look at Jerry Jones, you have to look at him through 2 very different lenses. As an owner, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame for that reason. He made everybody in the NFL richer. He made the NFL more popular. He challenged all the rules and made the NFL more money by saying, hey, that's great that we have a national pizza deal. I have a local pizza deal. I'm going to double dip. And they're like, you can't do that. And they sued him, and he countersued. And they realized, holy shit, why are we suing him? He's going to make all of us rich. He's an unbelievable businessman and a marketer. That team is probably worth $15 billion on the market right now.
Yeah.
He owns the stadium, okay? All these, by the way, memo to all these multi-$100 million guys that own teams. If you build your own stadium and fund it yourself, guess what? You'll get it back tenfold. So quit asking for taxpayers' money. Jerry's worth $15 billion because of the stadium that he owns along with the team. Separate issue. But Jerry would rather give it all up and go into the Hall of Fame as a personnel guy. And he's the worst at it. And why do I say he's the worst? The Cowboys' last divisional playoff round win was in 1996.
Yeah.
After the 1995 season when they went on to win Super Bowl 30. We're now playing for Super Bowl 60. The Cowboys as a franchise have gone 3 decades, 3, without winning a divisional round playoff game. That's almost impossible to do. And there's not another general manager in any sport that would have that kind of futility in the postseason that would still have his job 10 years down the road, let alone 20 and 30, unless the guy who's going to fire the general manager happens to know the owner. And in this case, they're the same person. Jerry is the owner, and Jerry is the general manager, and he is his own worst enemy at this. He is not good at it.
Trey Wingo is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Straight Facts, homie, is the new podcast. When I heard about the trade, I thought that's all Green Bay had to give up, 2 very late first-round picks and a player who was going into, he's 29 years old, and he might still be really good. There are players who are still good who are playing along the defensive front at age 29. But this goes back further. Another thing that Jerry said that really, made me laugh was when he praised the fact that Dak Prescott was the highest paid quarterback. He's about the 12th best quarterback in the league. And maybe I'm exaggerating that, but
no, that's about right. Why
would we praise that he's the highest paid quarterback? It just speaks to how poorly you're doing your job.
Well, yes, and this has gone on for 8 years now, okay? The reason they had to make Dak the highest paid player, the highest paid quarterback in the league, is because they paid the running back, Ezekiel Elliott, first when he was in his decline and he was splitting time with then Tony Pollard,
right,
who was much more explosive. So they gave Zeke a ridiculous $50+ million contract, which means they had to wait to pay Dak, which means they had to get rid of Amari Cooper. And you go look at the numbers between Dak and Amari Cooper, those 2 seasons together, they were on fire. They were together. They were lockstep in everything they were doing. So you had to get rid of Amari Cooper because you couldn't afford to pay him because you overpaid Ezekiel because you knew you had to pay Dak. Then they pay Dak and they overpay for him. Last year at this time, Micah wanted to get a deal done. He always wanted to be a Cowboy.
Right.
He never wanted to play for anybody else. If they'd gotten the deal done this past year, it would have been for $32 million. So instead they say, no, we're going to wait. And then Myles Garrett gets $40+ million. TJ Watt gets his $40.5 million. And suddenly the market for an edge rusher went up by $8.5 million. And you, by deciding to delay the process, now pay the price for that. Okay? This has been a problem for them for years. And look, they've had some good drafts. I want to be clear about this. You know, they've drafted really good offensive linemen. CD was a draft pick. Micah was a draft pick. But it can't just be about draft picks. No. It's about team construct, team construction. What do you do around these pieces? And, oh, by the way, you want to get 2 first-round picks? You hope like hell that one of them is half as good as the player you traded away in Micah Parsons. And one more thing before we move on to any of this. Again, this is just straight facts, okay?
Yeah.
If you go look at – I'm not a huge every statistic matters guy, but there's an EPA per play in the NFL with expected points added, basically. It's a model, okay? When Micah Parsons was on the field over the last 2 seasons, the Cowboys had the best EPA defense in the league.
Yes.
When he was off the field, which is over 1,000 plays, so it's not a small sample size, they were the second worst. So do not sit there and tell me Micah was part of the run defense problem or the deep run defense is going to get better. Oh, by the way, the reason the run defense is an issue because you drafted Mozzie Smith in the first round and the guy can't play. Okay? And while we're praising Jerry for his draft picks that he made, let's also remember in 2017 with 28th overall pick, he took someone named Taco Charlton out of Michigan. And at 30th, the Steelers said, cool, we'll take this guy T.J. Watt. We like him.
Yeah, but Taco is such a much better name than TJ.
It's just preposterous.
Right. I mean, if I could take somebody named Taco, or if there was somebody named Burrito or Chalupa, I would take him. Trey Wingo, Straight Facts Homie, the new podcast at Wingo's with a Z on Twitter. So I know you have been aligned with sports betting sites in the past. The Chiefs are the 4th betting choice to win the Super Bowl. I find that value. I find value in that. Not the overwhelming favorite as they have been, because the Eagles, I think, are the first choice, and then you've got the Ravens and Bills, I think, tied for next. But Chiefs 4th betting choice, not bad.
Listen, before I went to ESPN, I worked in St. Louis for 6 years. And in Missouri, it's called the Show Me State, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I look at Kansas City, I say to all these AFC teams, show me you can beat them when it matters, because I haven't seen it yet. Only 2 quarterbacks have been able to bring a team against Kansas City in the AFC and take him down. Joe Burrow and the now part owner of the Raiders, Tom Brady. That's it, okay? Josh Allen is the first quarterback in NFL history to go 0 for 4 in the playoffs against another quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Now, it's not all Josh's fault. 2021, I don't know, 13 seconds left.
Yeah.
How they don't squib that kick still is a mystery. It's like the Rosetta Stone of how to screw up a franchise. I still don't understand it. Josh has played well. They haven't found a way to beat him in the clutch. Lamar Jackson in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago, not good. So you can go ahead and put these other teams in front of them, but until I see it with my eyes, I'm not going to believe it. So, value at Kansas City at 4 is a great one.
So, to kind of continue the thing about the Chiefs, last year they were hamstrung by injury, suspension, right? To their receivers,
Rashee Rice,
right? So, they get those guys back, and we know it's pretty much the last hurrah for Travis Kelce because he has a wedding to plan. So, I mean, to me, that's as good a reason as any to decide you're going to call it quits. So this could be the last run for some of this group. I just think it gives him extra motivation.
I would agree. And look, I know this is a 6-game suspension for Rashee Rice, and I understand that. But good to get that out of the way now. I will say this about the Chiefs receiving corps. He's never had a better one. Even when Tyreek Hill was there, the second and third options were Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle. Respectfully, they're not the speedster in Xavier Worthy and the speedster in Hollywood Brown. You add Rashee Rice. I think they're going to get something out of Tyquan Thornton this year, former second-round pick of New England. Obviously, you still have Travis Kelce, and they have two other really good tight ends. In Noah Gray, and I think Robert Tonyan made the roster as well. They're loaded. They just got to hope that this kid, Josh Simmons, is as good as we all think he is. Because, he was hurt, but if he wasn't hurt, he was a top 10 talent in the draft, and they got him at 31, which I think is a steal. So if the tackles hold up, I think that you're going to see – I hate to tell you, but they've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. That's never happened in the history of the NFL. Patriots never did it. Steelers never did it. Niners never did it. Cowboys never did it. Nobody's done it. Nobody went to 5 and 6. And I don't see any real reason to say why they won't be 6 and 7.
Yeah, 6 out of 7. I think the Steelers did 4 out of 6. Winning 4, right? They won 1, 2, missed the next 2, then won the 2 after that.
That's exactly right.
That's basically as dominant
9, 10,
as anybody's
13, 14. Yeah, 9, 10, 13, 14. They missed 11 and 12.
Trey Wingo joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Let me just ask you one thing about the Panthers, then I'll ask you one quick thing about the podcast, and then we will let you continue on your Wednesday. Because it really comes back to ownership for me, and I've been critical of David Tepper. I think it takes a while to learn how to own, how to be an owner. Yeah. In hockey, I think Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon is really getting it now. And David Tepper last year did step away. He let the football people cook. And I still think they're not really a playoff contender. They might win the division if the division falls apart, but I don't think they're anything more than a 9-win team. But you can certainly see the future being good. And part of that is that David Tepper is just letting the guys that he hired do their job.
Yeah, and that's important, and that's why Jerry will never be good because he can't let himself out of the equation in Dallas. I think Carolina's interesting. They have some pieces. I really liked the way Bryce Young played after being benched, but I also really liked the way Bryce Young responded after being benched. Yeah. He took it the right way. He took it to heart. Now, again, my only concern with Bryce is he's little, and he's one hit away, Right. So that's my bigger concern. But I love the way he came back and played. And the division is not. Yes, Tampa Bay's won it 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row, whatever it is. They're not a dominant team. They can be had. I think it's reasonable to be optimistic this season about what we might see in Carolina.
I just want to see a team that looks like they have a chance to win, to be honest.
Right.
I look at this not through an emotional lens of a fan, because I grew up in a different area. I was never a Panthers fan, but I'm intrigued by what I might see this year. Again, I think they're at best a 9-win team, but who knows? Maybe that'll give them an opportunity to win the division. All right, so before I say goodbye, Straight Facts, Homie, the podcast. I know 2 of your 3 episodes have been about the NFL. The other was, I thought, just an opportunity to talk to Brandel Chambly for an hour about golf, and I loved it. So do I have that read correct?
Yeah, we're going to listen. The whole point of this thing is I'm tired of people yelling at me.
Right.
I'm tired of turning on the television and say, I have this hot take.
Right.
Like Paul Feinbaum saying that, Arch Manning's going to be the greatest college quarterback since Tim Tebow. Based on what? Like, that's not, you're either you're delusional or you're just making stuff up to get attention, because there was nothing from Arch Manning's tape last year that could make you say that. Now, Is there a possibility that he could still be very good? Absolutely. But there was literally nothing that you saw last year to come to that conclusion. So stop saying stupid stuff like that. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people yelling at me. We're going to present things factually. For example, let's take the new head coach at North Carolina, Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
48 points in his debut. In his entire NFL career, he never gave up more than 47, which tells you we have an adjustment period.
Yes.
I think it's going to get better. But let's also look at Bill realistically. Oh, he's the greatest coach of all time. Maybe, but with the greatest player of all time, Tom Brady, his winning percentage was 77%, 249 wins, 74 losses. Without Tom Brady in New England and in Cleveland, he had a 45 winning percentage. That's a 32% drop without the greatest player of all time. I would argue that Andy Reid is a much better head coach because what Andy has done, he's done it multiple different ways. He's the only coach in NFL history with 100 wins for two different teams. He's the only coach in NFL history that has the most winningest coach for two different franchises. He's been to 6 Super Bowls. Yes, he's only won 3 of them, but he's also won consistently with Donovan McNabb, Kevin Kolb, Michael Vick, Alex Smith, and now Patrick Mahomes. Bill can't win without the best player of all time. Joe Gibbs has the greatest stat of all time when it comes to coaching.
Yep.
3 Super Bowls, 3 wins, 3 different starting quarterbacks. Do you know how hard that is?
Right.
So, I think we need to look at Bill through a realistic light. Yeah, he benefited from being the head of the New England Patriots at the right time when the division was crap for most of that time, and he had the best player on the planet. Without the best player, Bill's not the greatest coach of all time, and the numbers demonstratively prove that. That's what we're trying to do on this show. We have a YouTube page. Just find my name, Trey Wingo. You'll see it there. It's on Amazon, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We're going to present you with information, and we're not going to yell at you. We're going to tell you why things are without screaming at you. Our line is, this is where the debate ends and the information begins. And I think people want that.
I agree with you. But real quick about Washington, not only did Joe Gibbs win with 3 different quarterbacks, but only one of those quarterbacks was really good for any length of time. Jay Schrader and Mark Rippon. And Rippon was amazing for the year. I guess he won with Theismann. He didn't win with Schrader. Schrader was part of that run. But
it was Theismann, Doug Williams, and Mark Rippon.
Mark Rippon. Mark Rippon, a heck of a golfer. I actually was there when he played in the Kemper Open at Avenel.
Yeah.
I
think he shot a 92 in the first round, if
hey,
I'm not mistaken.
You know this. The golf that they play, way different than the golf that any scratch golfer plays. It's just not.
And I know
it's not the same
and
game.
I know we're probably up against it, but just to give you another statistical thing, because we're doing a lot of golf shows as well called In Play with Trey. We're going to run to different golf courses. I know golf is so huge in that area.
Yeah.
People are talking about Scotty Scheffler. Oh, he's the next Tiger Woods. He's better than Tiger Woods. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. Okay,
Right.
I'll give you a couple quick examples. This is one talking about the facts. Scotty Scheffler's season 68.1 scoring average, 5th best all time behind Tiger Woods, Scotty Scheffler, and 6 and 7 are Tiger Woods and Tiger Woods. Scotty Scheffler has converted 10 straight 54-hole leads into wins on the PGA Tour. Amazing. That's the longest streak since Tiger did it 37 straight times. One last thing. Scotty Scheffler is number 1 in the world. To get to Tiger's record of the most weeks, not consecutive, but the most weeks at number 1 in the world, Scotty Scheffler has to maintain his status as the number 1 player in the world from now until October of 2035. He can't take a week off or he won't get there to tie Tiger, let alone pass him. So when you say he's as good as Tiger, I'm saying, here's a history book. Let me show you why that's not true. And Scotty Scheffler's great. I want to be clear.
Awesome.
He's amazing. He's got to do this for a decade and a half to get close to what Tiger Woods was.
Yeah, but on the bright side, he is trending to basically mirror Tiger in the Ryder Cup as well. And I know you talked about it, but we'll hear all those numbers coming up in just a few weeks at Bethpage. Trey Wingo, we'll talk to you again very soon, my friend. I appreciate your time. Straight facts, homie. I'm enjoying it. I hope everything is going well.
It's going great, man. Always good to talk to you, Adam.
Take care. Trey Wingo here on the Adam Gold Show. Love it. Absolutely. I keep saying a lot of these things I do. I just want to, it's self-indulgent.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Trey about whatever. Working a little golf at the end. All right. When we come back, we'll rewind. What do we do? We talked about uniforms.
Yes.
Hurricanes uniforms today.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we also talked football. Right. What else did we talk about today? We had Chip Patterson.
Baseball with Doug Glanville.
Oh, we had Glanville. Mm-hmm. And we had Chip Patterson talking college football. We got a lot of stuff to do when we come back.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is finally here. The National Football League is starting on Thursday. Dallas at Philadelphia. The defending champions will wheel out their Super Bowl trophy and taunt the Cowboys with it because Dallas is somewhat pathetic. By the way, the Eagles are almost a touchdown favorite at home, and there will be pain. FanDuel getting you ready for kickoff with a great new offer for new customers. Bet $5, win that bet, get $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Win a bet, get $300 of our money. FanDuel.com/AGS. Download the FanDuel app today. FanDuel.com/AGS. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Public power line workers use a variety of specialized skills to build and maintain a locally owned and operated electric system. As a public power line worker, you can expect a career that allows you to work close to home, a safety record superior to other energy providers, and training and apprenticeship opportunities. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
When life feels overwhelming, knowing where to turn can make all the difference.
That's why crisis services are here for anyone at any time, no judgment.
If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health, substance use, or feeling lost,
crisis services are here for you 24/7.
Compassionate, low or no cost services.
Whatever your crisis, you always have options. Find the support that's right for you.
Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
This is Adam Gold.
And we're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool.
What are you doing? Get off Twitter. It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos.
I don't know if you've noticed, it's all been Blink 182.
Has it?
Yes, because they're performing out here in Raleigh tonight.
Are they? Are you going?
No. I saw them last summer, but I'm not going to this one. However, someone on Twitter, they know I like to have fun with the music. Yeah. So they were like, are you going to play all Blink 182? And I'm like, yes.
Are they going to the show?
Yes, they are.
All right, it's fine.
Yeah. It's like a warm-up.
Are you a fan of Oasis?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm I mean,
I know
familiar.
Like
I know
Wonderwall.
I know that they exist, right? I know that song.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've listened to any other Oasis song, but apparently I know they performed, I think, a little bit last year, toward like sporadically.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing shows in the U.S. again, and people are freaking out.
Oh.
Because Oasis is back together.
Yeah.
Look, whatever. I'm not knocking it.
Well, that's like My Chemical Romance. They're back together to at least tour. So they took a split for a while, and yeah. So
no idea who they are. I've heard of them. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Them? It?
Yeah, them. It's
them?
a band. Yep. Multiple.
But I'm unfamiliar with their material.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're going to the show, enjoy it.
I know.
Oasis, I think, just did a show in Chicago.
Maybe. I do like to see shows in Chicago.
Yes, you do. I think a massive turnout. Certainly, social media was kind of invigorated.
Yeah, they go crazy over
by
that
all
stuff.
of that.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the last concert. Last concert I saw.
Oh yeah. Well,
I have to think about it.
Mine was a couple weeks ago, but this month is good for me. I have at least 2.
Where are you going? Who are you seeing?
Pantera's next.
Oh.
That's September
Great.
11th. And then I cannot wait. A Day to Remember. Super excited.
A Day
to Remember.
September.
That's like the 17th, I think. So it's like
A Day to
after
Remember is the group. Okay.
It's the name of the band, yes. Yeah, that's it.
Don't get. I thought we were doing like an Abbott and Costello routine.
Right.
Most people listening right now have no idea who Abbott and Costello is.
Well, like we have that station as part of like our crew. It's one of our radio station, but it's called That Station, which can be very confusing sometimes. Because if you're trying to tell people, do you listen to that station? And they're like,
which station?
Who, where?
That station.
That's it. Which station?
Yeah. Never mind.
Like, stop playing mind tricks on me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Third base.
Yeah.
Again, the people who knew what I was talking about will get that. All right, shall we rewind? Chip Patterson every Wednesday. Look, there's so much to dig into. None of it really good about what North Carolina did. Real quick before we hear from Chip, I think it's easy to say Belichick has never done it without Tom Brady, and use that as not proof but facts only. Because I think you give him credit for Tom Brady. Personally, I think I would give him credit for Tom Brady. I think Belichick is a great coach because of what he did with defensive personnel and offensive flexibility. He took advantage of Tom Brady when a lot of other coaches would not. Regardless, Belichick's first game as North Carolina head coach was the most watched utter failure that I can recall. I don't know if it's the biggest failure in modern football history. Like Steve Spurrier's, tenure with Washington was not great. But for me, it was eye-openingly bad. Chip and I talked about it. I asked him for his overall thoughts.
So I thought this before Bill Belichick said it. I thought this in the third quarter. I think that North Carolina is better than what they showed.
Yeah.
Do you know who else was like that? The Alabama Crimson Tide. I still believe that they are a super talented team.
Right.
But they got pushed around.
They did.
I mean, I'm really starting to dial in to and some of the struggles of new starting quarterbacks all across the country. Because guess what? We don't have any Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel 12th year starters anymore. The COVID kids are all out of the system.
Right.
So some teams showed up and did not play to their talent level. And for North Carolina, it was physicality in the trenches.
Yeah.
TCU was the more physical team. They brought some fight, and North Carolina did not respond. And, even having some conversations with people who are, close to the program. I'll say people who do actually get to watch practice, not like the 10 minutes that you get to go from 55 yards away to try to figure out who's who and what's what. But the people who do get to see practice, that was the conversation. Like they got whipped, like the honest assessment. You guys got whipped at the line of scrimmage. They came out, and by the way, TCU, they put in a triple option defense. They put in a wing T defense. They had no idea what North Carolina was going to do offensively. North Carolina comes out in that 12 personnel. They're bringing out 6 offensive linemen, and they have that great first drive.
Yeah.
And then TCU put in the adjustment, and North Carolina had no counterpunch. And it was so crucial for North Carolina to have a response. Because, look, if that game is 13-7 at halftime and you don't have the pick 6 right before half, then it's a little bit of a different ball game. You at least you're still in this.
Yep.
But on the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter, 75-yard touchdown, bad, and like on a buck sweep.
Untouched.
Just
Untouched.
Bad gap fit. The soul and the spirit left that sideline, left that building.
Yeah.
And from there, it was TCU getting to dance on their grave. That's what has me thinking that the biggest disappointment is that for all of Bill Belichick's bona fides, the one question we were never going to know until Monday night was how he was going to get a different type of football player, a different age of football player, a roster who does not have an overwhelming amount of future pros. How are they going to have them mentally prepared? And again, like I'm using the Alabama example because it's similar, but on a very different scale. One of the great challenges in college football in 2025 is getting your team mentally ready to go so that they are fired up for the violent physical war that's about to take place. And North Carolina got their tails whipped. Yeah, and so now we get the next part that I said is going to be the great challenge for Bill Belichick. How do you guide a college football locker room through adversity and keep this from being a Florida State situation? Because Florida State had a team full of transfers and they hit adversity, got off to an 0-2 start, and quit.
Yeah, they did.
And so that is the greatest challenge for Bill Belichick. It's not trying to decide between Max Johnson and Gio Lopez. It's not trying to figure out how you don't let Marcus Allen get burned for 55 targets and 100 catches and all of the yards and 45 missed tackles.
Right. I snorted.
Good. Yeah, number 29 for those who weren't at home. They didn't throw at Thaddeus Dixon. Thaddeus Dixon's going to go to the NFL. They found number 29, and they said, we're just going to keep going at him over and over and over and over and over again. And that was the offensive plan when it came to Josh Hoover. So it's not going to be coming up with those schematic changes, Adam. It's going to be guiding a locker room through adversity when that locker room are not playing for their jobs.
Yeah.
And have very different motivations. And so can he and this staff be able to get that done?
There's a lot going on there. And what happens in Charlotte on Saturday will tell us something. Here's the thing. If Carolina goes down to Charlotte and thumps the 49ers, which they may very well do, it won't tell us anything. Charlotte is, we'll just say, a program in transition, right? Year one, I get it, of a new coaching staff down there. So if Carolina goes down there and just has their way, we're really not going to learn anything. Not in a positive way. If Carolina goes down there and really struggles, we will have learned something. So the only thing definitive that we can take out of what might happen in Charlotte is bad. I will be interested to see how Carolina treats their quarterbacks. I actually think, and we talked about this with Chip, I think they need both quarterbacks. I think they will use both quarterbacks. Here's the thing. Gio Lopez and Max Johnson are like peanut butter and broccoli. They're drastically different.
Don't put it together.
I would not put them together.
No.
So you're not going to run the same offense for both players, nor should you. But I do think both can help. And it's not a case of, well, they're going to need both quarterbacks. I think they should simply use both quarterbacks. Lost in all of the Carolina can't line up, can't tackle, can't stop the run, can't run the ball, although they at times ran it pretty well, was the fact that Lopez was very underwhelming throwing the football. First drive, he made 2 good throws. It then took him more than 2 hours to complete the next pass. The out route that he threw that ended up being the pick 6 for a touchdown was, it was a bad decision because the receiver was covered. But it was a way worse pass than it was a decision. Because if you get it out quickly enough, it was a completable play. But he was a little too deliberate, which, by the way, happened a few times last night, or rather Monday night. And it was woefully underthrown. I thought Max Johnson was good. Granted, the defense was very different that he faced as opposed to the one that Gio Lopez faced. But I did like the fact that he stood in there, took a hit, and made a throw. I don't want him to take hits, but he showed the courage to stand in the pocket and deliver a ball. Max Johnson was way better than I remembered from the little he played last year. Way better. He looked so much more comfortable playing. I don't know, maybe he ultimately is the quarterback. He ain't the reason they got beat 48-14. Gio Lopez is not the reason they got beat 48-14. They got beat that badly because there really weren't even close to being as good as TCU. And with all that said, I think Chip, we talked about it with Chip, I mean, it could have been a 6-point game at halftime. But it was a 14-point game at halftime. Right? It was 20-7 at the half. That's 13 points. As opposed to 13-7. And frankly, I think Carolina kind of screwed up just to give TCU the ball back to kick that field goal before the end of the half. Probably should have been 10. But the game just got away from them at the margins. And to be honest, we're not going to learn anything really good going forward on Saturday, nor the next game when they play Richmond. Central Florida will tell us some. Maybe a lot. But at least we'll have 3 games of a body of work before Clemson. That game could be ugly. Ugly. Especially if Clemson comes in here needing to impress people. That game really could get out of hand. But I know there were people are taking shots all the time. We heard from Harry Douglas from ESPN. They got to make a bowl game. How hard is that? Like winning 6 times. It's not that hard. I mean, if their personnel is as bad as it looked on Monday night, they won't. But I'm sort of counting on the personnel not looking that bad going forward. We hope. All right, tomorrow is the first game of the NFL season, people. The first one.
So excited.
Yes. We will discuss. Victoria, thank you. See everybody tomorrow.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluff and scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Bojangles has everything you need for the